Hello, my name is James Thomas. I was baptized back in May. I am new to the Second Ward of Springfield, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. One of the things that stuck out about the church is I always felt not a physical drawing, but a spiritual drawing to the church. It was um, really hard to explain, but I had never experienced that with anything else or any other church. But it was like the first time I saw one of the commercials that advertised the Book of Mormon, something in my soul kept stirring to want to know more about it. And I guess the reason that I wasn't able to get a hold of it is because once I did, that's the only place I wanted to be. And I call it my home now. I have been trying, I could probably say my whole life, to try to get into the Latter-day Saints Church. Um, and I guess at the time it wasn't, talking to my Aunt Tommy, I wasn't wandering, but I was searching. I finally, I guess in the Lord's eyes, I finally finished my search, and now He's letting me come home to where I'm supposed to be. I learned a lot along the way. Uh, I have been trying since I even heard about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to get information. Um, Calling the church themselves, they would send the Book of Mormon out to me, but it for some reason never got to me. I would have figured it was, mail or coincidence, but it happened 5 different times. So there was no coincidence in that. He wasn't ready for me to come home yet. And I word it that way because that's what it felt like when I watched the 2021 conference, spring conference. And it felt like I was home. Finally, I was home. I have relatives in the Mormon church. I have an uncle, Raymond Graves, who is a bishop, and his wife, Tommy Graves. And that's with an I, not a Y. They helped me and are still helping me get started with um, my home. I guess I refer to it as my home now. I got my first Book of Mormon, I want to say in April, shortly after watching the conference that they had during the Easter holiday. When I called my uncle up and asked him a question that was very confusing to me because, and I'll tell you what the question was, because I had read in a couple of, they're supposed to be legitimate Latter-day Saint sites that said that Easter wasn't really a celebrated holiday. So I called him up and asked him about it. And he says, actually, it's a very big holiday with the Latter-day Saints. And the three of us talked for a good 2 or 3 hours. And at the end of it, he said, I'll contact some missionaries from that area and get you one of the Book of Mormon. Inside of a week, I believe it was inside of a week, they were here. We sat outside of our building because it wasn't open just yet. Talked for a good 2 or 3 hours about different questions that I had. And they cleared everything up all the questions that I had, they cleared up for me. And it was about 3 or 4 weeks after that I was baptized. I do attend services on Zoom. Most of you probably won't see me because of transportation issues with my condition, but I'm there. I'm watching. And about a week ago, or this past Sunday actually, I got my Aaronic priesthood, and I'm loving it. And it's not for myself. I'm loving it for my Lord.